Hi, first off, I would like to say thank you again for substituting for my class. I greatly appreciate it. I'm just going to give you a rundown of the lesson plan that I would like you to cover with the class. I want to make sure it's clear on your end, that it makes sense to someone else so that it'll be clear for my students, and you guys will have a smooth time running through the lesson. The subject that this material will cover regards to the science and English language arts section. So the topic that we are currently studying is plants, so the class should be a little bit familiar with that. The grade level will be second grade, which is just the class that you'll be covering for me. And the purpose of teaching this lesson to students will be so that they are able to explore the life cycle of the plant from the beginning all the way to the end. So now I just want you to move down to the standards and the differentiated instruction. As you know, all students are different and should be treated as such and deserve the right to free and equal education. So the standard that I have posted is 2, reading, informational, 3, describe the connection between a series of historical events, scientific ideas or concepts, or steps in the technical procedures in a text. So obviously in our case, this has to do with the scientific steps. So for the differentiated instruction, students will break up into pairs of 2 and work with a partner for this assignment. So in addition to this, I don't want students picking their own groups, and I know it's not clear on here, but I do have a separate handout showing which groups students should be in and which groups should not be in. So you have a list, so students should not be picking their own groups. Alright, let's go ahead and move down to our objective. So our objective for the students is I can describe the steps in the life cycle of a plant by drawing pictures of each step. So I believe that this is an important way where we can reach the differentiated instruction, so we can have students describe the steps. They can do it orally and they can see it visually by the pictures, and then it's also hands-on because they are personally creating each step. So to get our students' attention, we want to use our anticipatory set. So students will investigate the real seeds and plants by looking and touching them. And students will be asked questions about the order in which plants grow. So students already have a background knowledge of how plants grow prior to this lesson, so they should have a basic understanding. The reason for bringing in the real seeds and plants is so that way students can apply it to their real life and be like, oh look, there's a plant right there. So it just makes a little more sense to me to have that aspect of it relating to a real life experience. So I will already have the plants for you and the seeds ready to go. Alright, so for the lesson that you will be teaching, you will read The Students from Seed to Plant by Gail Gibbons, and you'll read it aloud to the class. So this is to demonstrate how the plant will grow, and so what you will do on your end is draw pictures on the board showing each step of the plant cycle. So for the guided practice, this means that students will not be on their own. You will be helping them with this, so try and have them do it independently, but if they need help, of course, be there for them. So students will use cards with pictures to match the steps in the chronological order. So basically these cards will have different steps, put the seed in the ground, like the plant grows from the ground, all of that stuff. And students will have to match and put them in chronological order of what happens first, going all the way to what happens last in the plant life cycle. Moving on. So independent practice is something that I want students to do all by themselves. Of course, I want you to supervise and make sure that they are doing what they're supposed to do. But students will complete a diagram by drawing the steps of a plant from seed to end growth in order. So pretty much I want you to make sure that the students are completing their diagram, and I think that's just an important aspect. I'm really sad that I'm missing this lesson because the closure is awesome. So to end it, I want students to be excited at the fact that they just learned about plants, and I want them to be able to see how a plant will grow. So I will have bags set up with paper towels. Students will place a lima bean into the paper towel, add water to it, and they'll watch it grow. So to evaluate students, all I want you to do on your end is to collect the diagrams that they worked on, and I will grade them. For your materials and resources, you will need to have the Seed to Plant book by Gail Gibbons. I have that provided for you. Cards with labels and pictures, those will be in a bag. Diagram worksheet, markers, crayons, those will also be set aside for you. Seed and plants for demonstration. You'll find those in my cabinet because I don't want students touching them prior to the experiment. Seats for closure. So pretty much the bag, the paper towel, the water, like everything that you need to close your lesson off so students can begin seeing how a plant will actually grow. So if I scroll further down onto my lesson, I have a diagram that students will be working on, and instead of the words that would be in the place, they would draw a picture. So the student will have a blank diagram with the arrows going around the circle, and instead of having the words, they're going to have the pictures. But on your end, you'll have this to reference so you know the steps of the cycle and it's clear to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you it. I use my little elementary background so I can make the seed brown and the plant green because I thought that was cute. So as you can see, you know, it's got the steps of how to like make the seed to a plant. So I hope this lesson was helpful. If you have any questions, you can definitely text me during it. If I don't respond right away, it's okay. Just do your best judgment, and I wish you the best of luck teaching this lesson.